ladies and gentlemen, how you doing today? My name is Bilify, and today we are here to counter a glove. Which glove? Why, of course it's the Jester Glove. And these are going to be the awesome goobers that are going to be helping us to figure out what counters this Jester Glove. We have Bio, Asgore, Slayer, Carl, Scho, and Cyborg. Let's get right into it. A really good glove to have would be the Extended. So when the Jester's here, look, they cannot cast this on you at all. So you have this entire distance where you can slap them, but they can't get to you with their Jester circle. So yeah, the Extended glove is definitely going to be something that you can use to create distance and make sure they don't even get anywhere near you so that you can slap them and not have to worry about the consequences. The only thing you'd ever have to worry about is a pie being thrown at you. What can Golden do to counter this? Alright, so with Golden activated, if you're in the Golden mode, can you be hit by a pie? Absolutely not. They just fly way out there. You can't be hit by anything. Not a pie, nothing. You could use the Golden ability to stay safe from every single use from the Jester, and you could be offensive with it. So Golden's gonna get a Golden to your trophy from us. You know, gold for gold. It makes sense, right? What happens with Cheeky? So Cheeky can get turned into a rock. That's so odd to look at. You can get hit with pies. Nothing happens with the explosion. The Jester, if casted on a Cheeky, does kill the Cheeky. You can be safe from pretty much everything except for pies and the Jester that makes you dance till you die. So two bad things to watch out for. Cheeky's definitely not a Golden tier counter, but it can keep you safe in some situations here. What can Replica do? They are not able to use any bit of the Jester on these Replica clones. Yeah, they can hit him with pies, but I mean, you're blocking the screen of an AI that can't see anyway, so. But yeah, you could definitely use Replica to go after these Jester users. I like Replica. Is it perfect? No, but you know, it's good. Now, what happens with Reverse? Nothing on that one. Oh, if you get a diamond, you cannot reverse the diamond. You cannot reverse the pies. No, reverse doesn't work in any of these scenarios here. Reverse Big O. Woah can be a counter because they can't even get close to you. So if they're getting close to you, just push them back with Woah. But you're gonna have to, you know, time manage things here because he's already close enough that he could pretty much attack me and my shockwave's not even ready yet. So you have to really pay attention. So Woah's not perfect, but it can be used in a lot of scenarios. Coil is just gonna be like extended, but yeah, you could definitely throw these and hit them that way and keep them at distance. The only thing you'd ever have to watch out for is the pies itself. Once the pies get near you, then you gotta be careful. But yeah, you could definitely use the Coil to keep them back and push back so that they cannot get you. Anything that creates distance like that is going to get a gold tier trophy, for sure. Track can be interesting if there's only one Jester chasing you. If there's multiple, it makes it a little bit difficult. With one Jester chasing you, all you'd have to do is just keep throwing tracks at them and keep distance from them, because it's going to take a long time for them to be able to get back to you, and by the time that they do, what a shot. By the time that they do, you already have your track ready to go, and if they get close to you again, just use track again, and they have to avoid the track some way or somehow. I do like track in this scenario. The Tableflip is a good deterrent glove, but this can also be a counter. If they are coming near you, use it the exact way you would track. Once they are chasing you, just hit them with a table. But the bad thing with Tableflip is you have a long time that you have to wait for your next attack. A long time. In this scenario, I would probably use track over Tableflip just due to the fact that it takes so long for you to get your ability back with Tableflip. Ping Pong is going to be another one just like Tableflip and track, but it might be better than both of them, just due to cooldown. If you do have a Jester chasing you down, all you would have to do is just throw a ping pong ball at one and make sure that you do collide. By the time that they are back in your face ready for combat, you already have your ping pong ball again, so it works out very well with the amount of knockback it gives and the amount of time you have for cooldown reduction, so ping pong's great. It's not going to protect you defensive-wise, this is just if you can land the ping pong, you can keep them away. The Slicer Glove is going to be exactly like ping pong, Tableflip, and track, so if you have them chasing you down, just throw the Slicer Blade at them and then waste some time. They have to get close to you, so by the time you get your ability back, it takes a long time, so I might suggest ping pong over this. I'm not gonna lie to you. It just took way too long to get the slice ability back. What happens with Jebaited? Okay, so you can still get hit by things, but the good thing is you get brought right back over to your Jebaited. That's the good part. So if the explosion hits you off, you're safe from that. Everything else you can get hit by, but you're gonna get brought right back to your Jebaited. Besides the rock, some weird things happen with the rock that I really can't pinpoint. But needless to say, the only things you would actually have to worry about as a Jebaited user is getting hit with pies and not being spatially aware, and then having the Dance of Death happen to you. Other than that, if you get hit by the explosion, the teleport, or the slow, it really doesn't matter because you're still in your Jebaited form. So Jebaited's not a counter. I would would like to label this as a deterrent more than a counter. Ooh, oven can be interesting. Because they can't use their abilities in there, a good thing that you could do is just camp your oven and just sit near the edge and let them come after you or hit them into it. This is a more offensive styled glove with absolutely no defense unless you have your oven up, so I'm barely gonna say this is a counter. This is just something that you can heavily deter them from trying to come after you, you know? Now, if you Guardian Angel your friend, can you save them from the Jester? So interesting enough, if you have Guardian Angel equipped on your friend, the people that are using cards cannot cast them on the person that's been Guardian Angeled. That's very wild. What? Now, if I were to take it off, they can be hit. That means if you want a super counter, give your friend the Guardian Angel tag and they are safe. The only thing they're not safe from is the pies. You're gonna get hit with pies. So we're actually gonna give Guardian Angel a gold tier counter here, surprising enough. Now Ferryman, believe it or not, can actually have a good use here. You're just gonna have to use the element of surprise on them. All you would do is just use your ability and slice them back. You get your ability back pretty fast so that even if they come after you or if they're close to you, you can continue to just use this ability to go and slice them and keep sending them back. You will have the reach advantage over them because they cannot do anything against you. Definitely like the Ferryman for this because you have the desync advantage. Ferryman, believe it or not, I'm gonna give this a gold tier trophy. Nothing defensive if they do catch up to you, but with Ferryman, just don't let them catch up to you. Now, can they use their ability in God's Hand's time stop? Ooh, I don't think that they can. Nope. Out of all the one-shots, we'd probably recommend God's Hand just due to the ability of time stop. What happens with phase? As long as you're in your phase permeable mode, you're good. You can't be hit by any Jester ability. They'll end up hitting another Jester instead of you. So the phase glove here is going to be a great counter, but it's not going to be a gold tiered counter just because you can't attack with this. You have to use this defensive-wise. Bomb can be a great deterrence to coming after you. It's almost a counter. You could say it's a counter, but if they're running after you, you could definitely throw bombs at them to push them back like, hey, you need to get away from me, brother. As soon as you see them coming after you, throw the bomb, blow them up, but make sure you're not near an edge. Bubble is going to be a counter. I like it more than bomb because you get it a lot faster and you can surprise a lot of people with it. It's definitely something that if they are chasing you down, just hit them with a bubble, throw it at them, whatever it may be. And if they're hawking you down like this, just keep doing that. Keep throwing the bubbles. You can create space because they'll either have to dodge or they'll be bubbled. Either or. No in between. Jet is a deterrent glove. It's not a counter. It's not like bomb. It takes you so long to get your jet ability that it's just really not worth it. But if you do manage to get your jet, you can definitely throw this on them and try to hit them off the edge with the explosion. But again, this is just a deterrent glove. This is not a counter. Now the shard, if you could land it, absolutely could be a counter because it slows them down. And you can get slaps as well. So not a high tier counter because there's no real defense. This is just something that if you can land your shots, then it becomes like sort of defense. Once they do get hit, they are slowed, so it creates a bigger space to where you can dodge and avoid things. Bob could be a really good counter slash deterrent, but only one Jester. If there's multiple, then it's not really going to work because you can only target one with this. Ooh, Slapple could actually be very good here. So if you have a Jester coming near you, go into a tree, and they cannot hit you. That is massive. They can't target you with it. They'd have to jump up and jump on other people's heads to be able to get to you. And even if they do, just jump to the side and cast out another tree. This is definitely going to be one of the top tier trophies for me, just due to the fact that they can't get you at all. Muso was like, hey, that's cheating. So yeah, Slapple, gold tier trophy for sure. Ooh, Rattlebones. If you're on top of Larry, you're definitely safe. While you're on top of Larry, you cannot be hit by pies, which is good. And Jesters cannot get to you. The only thing they can do is run into that. If you have a Jester coming at you, just keep throwing Larrys at them if you really wanted to. Larry won't activate though if they use their ability on you. Only if they slap you will Larry get angry. Glitch could be a counter. It's a huge deterrent, but it could definitely be a counter. If they are chasing you down, all you'd need to do is just cast out your glitch and they'd get stuck up in that. And by the time that they are down and on the ground, you're at half ability, so you could run away and get to wherever you would need to. So can you combo with the Voodoo Glove? Oh yeah, you could absolutely throw pies at a Voodoo clone and make them take those pie hits. They cannot use the ability on a clone. Okay, so the only thing you could do with Voodoo is just throw pies. So Voodoo's not a counter unless you want to start throwing pies at someone, which, I mean, hey, that could be a funny little scene. If you manage to get one of them leashed before they use their ability, what happens? So we managed to get a Jester leashed, and they cannot use their ability while leashed. Okay, interesting. It's going to be very hard to leash them without having them use their ability on you, so if you're vigilant enough, sure. But not a counter. Sparky is interesting because if you can actually get up to a speed, it would be very hard for them to time out a Jester hit on you. So as long as you get going, oh yeah, absolutely. It'd be very hard to time out where exactly and what's happening, and they would not be able to hit their Jester on you. If there's a lot of people crowding, it's not going to be your best option. But I do love Sparky. It's a top counter, but not a gold tier counter. Nothing for defense if you do get caught. Now, Boogie is also interesting. So if you want to use the Boogie Glove, you could absolutely use it to sit in the center underneath your disco, and the only thing that they can do to you is throw pies. They can't can't hit you with their ability because it's just too far of a broad boogie dance. A boogie sphere. I don't know how to call it. The area of effect from Boogie. Alright, I need to get off this glove before I out-goober myself. I almost want to put this as a top counter. Let me know what you think. Now we're onto the Kraken. This could be used to keep distance in the fight. You just gotta watch out for your cooldown. Alright, so if you are fighting them, you can cast out the big old tentacle to keep them away. And by the time they get back to you, you're about halfway, so really you wouldn't have to worry about it. You just have to make sure that you land your Kraken arm, because if you don't, then you're in trouble. Now, what happens with Rob? They can't activate it, and they cannot hit me with pies. So you are fully safe in this mode. So of course Rob's gonna get the gold tier trophy because you can't be hit by the pies and they can't use the Jester on you because you're not targetable. If you can get to a higher speed with rhythm, you could absolutely kind of goober around with them because you can get near them with the shockwave, but you don't have to get as close to them as you would think. If you're in an animation like Rojo, can you be targeted? No, you cannot be targeted while in the animation itself. You just have to make sure that you land your shot on the Jester, because if you don't, then they're gonna hit you after. So the same thing goes for, like, let's say, Shikuchi. If you're in the Shikuchi ability, you can't be targeted. Once you're out of animation, then you can be targeted. So Rojo's a W, but not a top counter. So both of the Retro and Null gloves are really good deterrents, but they're not counters. Just due to the fact that for Retro, if you're gonna spam the hammer, you have to get into a close proximity, and a close proximity fight, I'm gonna give to Jester, because they have a very good option to kill you. Although you can finesse with Retro. A lot of people are going to want to say it's a counter, but in my book, I don't think it is. And then Null, you can only really target one of these Jesters that are chasing you. If there is more, then you're kind of you know? But if they are chasing you, they're either going to have to make the business decision to either try to target you through the minions, or they're going to have to make the decision to go and jump to another island so that the Null minions go away. So deterrents, but not counters. And now with Alchemist, if you have the invincibility potion activated, are you safe from Jester? So combining 2 mushrooms and 1 elderwood, we can create ourselves the invincible potion. But let's see if you can be targeted. You can't be hit by any more pies, and you cannot be hit by Jester anymore. You are not targetable. So I'm definitely going to give Alchemist a top tier trophy, just due to the fact that you can combine invincibility with like lethal and explosion and all that nasty combo. And then the second to last counter here is going to be Druid. If you have them coming after you, just cast out Druid and lock them up into this little tight-knit root system, you know? And then by the time they even get close to you, remotely close to you, guess what? You have your wild finds again, and you're ready to go. And of course, the last counter, you could always Jester a Jester and just kind of duke it out that way. And that's gonna do it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching this episode. Shout out to the awesome group here that we have with us: Cyborg, Carl, Slasher, Bio, Scho, and Asgore, and Muso as well. Which counter surprised you the most? For me, I thought Reverse would do a little bit more, but apparently not. So that shocked me. My favorite counter would probably have to be, I think, Coil. Coil's fun, but that or Extended. I always loved using Extended, so it's between those two. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that every single one of you have an amazing rest of your day or night whenever you do end up watching this, and I shall see you in the next one. Later!